Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a good day today. Found out yesterday that there's a 32-year-old lady and her 16-year-old daughter that died from dengue. Dengue is it's a virus that's spread by mosquitoes, and it's deadly. The mother got fever the night before last, and yesterday morning she went to the hospital, and just a couple of hours later she was dead. The daughter went to the hospital the same time she did because she was beginning to have fever, and she was dead by that late afternoon. The father went to the hospital today with fever. There's also a 3-year-old girl that went to the hospital last night and with fever, and within 2 hours she was dead. We were sitting in our store earlier, and I heard a loudspeaker coming down the road, and Lynn was telling me what it was saying because it was a van. It was a van with a loudspeaker, and it was them warning people that there is a dengue epidemic here, and that any stagnant water or anything like that to pour out and to get rid of. It's so hard to do here. It rains every day. There's always rain here, and everywhere you go, you're getting bit by mosquitoes, especially me. They love me, and so every time you get bit by a mosquito, you're wondering, is that the one that's going to kill me? The mother and the daughter that died, well, first of all, here in Malawi, there's not a doctor that's a specialist or that's equipped to take care of dengue. There's a specialist in Iligan, which is probably about a 3 or 4 hour drive from here, but it's a hard drive. But the barangay, all of the towns in the Philippines are broken up into barangays, like neighborhoods, suburbs. And each barangay has a captain and a counselor. It's kind of its own little government. And they went around collecting money from everybody in that barangay, and they got enough money together to get them to Iligan, for treatment. But it was too late. The virus works too fast, and when you deal with stuff like that here, it makes you appreciate life and things a lot better. I've had typhoid fever since I've been here. That nearly killed me. After that, I had about 2 weeks after I recovered from that, I had another something hit me. I can't remember what that was, but that was just as deadly as typhoid. This place is so beautiful, but there's so many things here that can kill you, and I see the people here, every day is a struggle just to have enough money for rice, for food. They can't afford to get their children clean clothes. I see so many people, especially in America, divided and arguing and fussing. This group of people are privileged. That group of people are privileged. And everybody fighting over scraps. They don't realize is everybody in countries like America, Canada, Europe, you're all privileged. You just don't understand how good you have it Even those that think they don't have it good, you've never really went hungry. You don't know what... I remember, I think back some of the things I used to say. I used to say things like, I'm starving to death. You know, I hadn't eaten 2 or 3 hours. You know, but I was starving to death. I didn't know what starving to death really was. You know, I had excess in abundance in America. I see so many people fighting and divided. And I see people all the time. You know, I watch all these comments and stuff on these videos where people are arguing over race and over, you know, political parties and stuff. And I see them talking about each side going, we're ready for war. We're ready for revolution. We're ready for civil war. No, you're not. Because as soon as that happens, whenever the electricity shut down, when the water shut down, when all the food and water has been looted from all the stores, then what are you going to do? You know? That's when reality's going to set in, and all you people are going to realize just how blessed you are and how privileged you are. Every bone in my body is telling me right now to take my family and get out of here. You know, take them somewhere where it's safe, but there's no place safe. You know, this is some scary stuff you have to deal with. These people that died are just, I can throw a rock and hit where they lived. My wife, Lynn, 10, 12 years ago, she had dengue. She went in the hospital with 3 other girls at the same time. They all had dengue. She was the only one that walked out. The other 3 died. You know, she had no family there. This stuff, whenever it hits you really hard, you start bleeding out of everywhere. Your mouth, your nose, your ears, you name it. If you got a spot to bleed out of, you'll bleed out of it. And you eventually bleed to death and the fever. I'm just kind of ranting here a little bit. You know, I'm not complaining about my life here. I love my life. I love what I'm doing here, you know. But since I've been here, my eyes have been opened up to so much. I know there's intolerance in America, and there's problems in America. But whenever you get into a situation like this, and you look at what you've got, they're really not problems at all. The only reason people are so focused on them and so intent and angry about it is they don't realize that they've been played by the media, both sides. Doesn't matter, Fox News, CNN, all of them. They've all got an agenda, and they're playing everybody against each other. And they're picking at those sores, picking at that scab every day, and they're trying to get you to be angry and to hate each other. They're pointing out your differences every day, pointing out your differences whenever, you know, you're more alike than your differences. I pray that you guys will keep the Philippines in your prayers and all the other countries around the world that have to suffer like this. You know, these smaller countries like this suffer the way they do because most of the time bigger countries come in and plunder their resources. And they take everything away from them so that they can maintain their way of life. I see that a lot of times in comments from people. You know, they say, we got to have this so we can keep our way of life going. You know, that way of life that all of you have is a privileged life. And it comes at the cost of people like this here. I have people contact me all the time, begging me to come to my country and come feed the children here, you know, because they think I've got some kind of magic touch, you know, to get donations and things to help people. I'm like, you know, I'm where I'm supposed to be right here. I got to help these people out, you know. And We need more people going to the places that nobody wants to go to, that everybody's afraid to go to. See, I'm here. Nobody wants to be here where I'm at. You know, you've got ISIS, you've got MPA, you've got disease, you know, you've got all these things. You know, nobody wants to be here. You know, the places nobody wants to be is where you need to be. And then when you go to those places, you'll realize just how privileged and blessed you are. Anyway, rant finished. Keep the Philippines in your prayers. Keep my family in your prayers. Pray that God will direct me, show me what to do, and protect us. I believe that you know, our times are appointed. You know, our times when we're born are appointed, and I believe our times when we die are appointed. But you know, just seems like a lot of unnecessary suffering in between. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my rant. I love you all. God bless.